Welcome into Talk of the Town this week on C19 TV. I'm your host, Tim Foster, in for Jamie Henderson. Happy summer. We hope you're having a great one, and it's always great to have this lady when she comes to visit us, Mary Beth Martin, the Executive Director at the Earl Scruggs Center. Mary Beth, happy summer.
Happy summer. It is. We are right in the middle of it.
It is. It's been hot, hasn't it? But it's been really good, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about upcoming concerts, exhibits going through related to the Earl Scruggs Center, and of course, we're just a month and a half away from another unbelievable Earl Scruggs Festival coming in September. But first, let's talk about the summer. How's things been going at the Earl Scruggs Center?
So things are really busy at the Earl Scruggs Center this summer. We're having all sorts of programs and events. One of the most fun things that we do each year are hosting beginner banjo and guitar camps.
That's awesome.
And so we did that in June. We had 20 students for those camps.
And this is not the first year you've done
Not
that, right?
the first year. We've been doing this for several years with local music educator Justin Harper, and he does an incredible job with those students. And what's really neat is seeing those students really take to the instruments and then sign up for the intermediate camp later in July. So it's been a lot of fun to see those students learn the music and just really enjoy that, learning not only about the music itself, but the history of the music in this area.
And how many students do you normally have at these camps?
So we normally have about 20 students for the camps. Yes, so it was great. We had, between our guitar and banjo camps, we had 20 students. And then, like I said, we'll have the intermediate camps, which are a little bit smaller. But it was just a really great summer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good one, and of course you've got visitors that are coming through. I know you've told me you had visitors. I think you've told me from literally every state in America. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We've had visitors from all 50 states and more than 20 countries internationally.
Wow.
You know, just one little anecdote. A couple weeks ago, I was at the volunteer position, so the desk, so the person who greets people when they come to the museum and sort of helps guide them around the museum, and that's really, honestly, one of the most fun things to do is to meet people as they come in and ask them, where are you from and why are you visiting? So in just a really short period of time, I had visitors from Minnesota, upstate New York, California, Cleveland County visitors, Alabama. It was amazing. In a 3-hour shift, I met people from all of those places who were coming to our community for various reasons. Some just to visit the Earl Scruggs Center, but then for other things, and they found out about us and came to visit. So it's so much fun meeting people. And then just a couple weeks ago, we had a visitor from Japan pop in who said he had a friend who is a bluegrass musician in Japan, found out he was visiting the States and said, you've got to go to the Earl Scruggs Center.
It's amazing the impact that his life had.
Yes.
You know, I was coming across something a couple weeks ago on YouTube, and he was on Letterman. I remember when he was on Letterman many years ago.
Yes.
And that was in the CBS Letterman days, you know, we're looking back, and the impact is real, and it seems to, you know, many years even after he's not here, but with the center, it seems to get stronger and grow every year, Mary Beth.
Well, and that's our goal, and that's part of our mission, to make sure that people continue to remember Earl Scruggs and recognize his accomplishments in music here in his home community.
Yes.
And then I think our work through other things like the Earl Scruggs Music Festival and our restoration of the Earl Scruggs home place, you know, certainly do that as well.
Absolutely. Now, of course, last week on the show, we had a big discussion about America 250, and that's such an exciting part of our history this year. It's things going on all over the area, and of course, Cleveland County has been a big part of that, and the Earl Scruggs Center. You guys have had some events related to that, correct?
Yes. So that's a big.
We'll have some.
That's right. That's a big part of what we're doing this year too. So in celebration of America 250, we opened a new special exhibit called Voices of the Frontier, Cleveland County on the Eve of Independence. And what this exhibit does
we're seeing some pictures now.
Is tell visitors about the people who were living here in Cleveland County, settling here in Cleveland County, leading up to the American Revolution. What was life like in Cleveland County? What were the stories of these people, the indigenous like the Catawba, or the settlers, or even the enslaved folks who helped build this community? It's just a really interesting exhibit. It certainly talks about some people you might know, from your Cleveland County history classes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or some family names that you might know.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of our pictures, and big thanks to our producer this week, Miss Holly Hamrick, and there's a website to check it out. But Talk about, yeah, and you mentioned it. You're going to get a great history lesson when you check out this exhibit. Is that right, Mary
Yes,
Beth?
yes, it's the perfect way to learn about what life was like in Cleveland County at that time, leading up to the Revolutionary War. And so you'll see objects from the Cleveland County Historical Collection that would have been a part of everyday life. One of those photos, you saw an enormous loom.
I saw that.
You know, and that's how people produce their textiles. Everything from
Yeah,
you know
there
their
it is.
linens to their clothing. And then some other tools and common objects, clothing from the time period. It's a really fascinating exhibit, and it's open through the end of the year.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, and because the you know, a lot of people think about the America 250, and they kind of in their mind, well, it's going to end. Okay, it should have, you know, would have ended a couple of weeks ago around the 4th. No, this is a year-long celebration. Yeah,
Yes.
and I think this is a great exhibit to really focus on that, and it really shows, you know, how folks lived. I mean, it's, you know, you just, there's a part of you, and I don't know if you feel this way, you'd love to be able to just step back into that time for a short amount of time. Yes, our technology is amazing, but wouldn't it have been neat to just step into that and check it out?
That's right. You'd probably step back quickly.
You would be, but very quickly, yes.
But we do have some programs too surrounding that exhibit. So earlier this summer, we had an exhibit on the Appalachian traditional ballad singing and how that's influenced American music. And that's something that goes back for, you know, centuries, back to the first settlers that came over. And, you know, you had music mixing with indigenous music, and then you had African music, and you had ballads from the British Isles, and how that created our music here. And so we had a program on that, and then we also have some staff members from the National Park Service coming to talk about the Battle of Cowpens and the importance of that later this summer. We have a program that will be presented by the Catawba Cultural Center later in the fall, and then finally a program that I think is going to be very interesting on the natural dyes that people found out, you know, in nature and how they dyed their textiles.
Really?
Yeah, so I just encourage people to visit our website and sign up for those programs. Some of them are free, some of them have a very small cost.
Yeah, that's going to be really awesome, and a lot of wonderful ways. I mean, it just adds to what's already a great trip when you go over to the center and check things out. And remind our viewers again, Mary Beth, the hours and the days you guys are open.
Yeah, so we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Cleveland County residents are always free on Saturdays. And I just encourage people to check out our website, earlscruggscenter.org, to see the list of events that we have coming up.
Yeah, a lot of really good things. Now, I saw something, is it Roots and Music? That will be coming up as well a little bit later on this year.
So we just
Talk
announced.
a little bit about that.
Yes, we just announced a really neat, unique music series for the fall for September, October, and November called Roots Music Review.
Okay.
And it is a live radio show recorded at the Earl Scruggs Center.
Yeah, we're seeing some information. So it will be. So you're saying it's live, not pre-recorded.
It is, well, it's recorded, and then it will be
recorded live
there. Yes, it is recorded live, and then it will be aired on WNCW radio station the following week. And so we will have a host, Nicholas Edward Williams. He is the host of the podcast American Songcatcher, and he will bring in a guest artist as well as a host band. So we have a house band that'll be playing throughout the program. It'll be a mix of storytelling, music. There'll be some game show aspects to it too. It'll just be a great hour and a half of entertainment.
That will be great, and it will be done right in the center. Is
Yes,
that correct?
it will be recorded at the Earl Scruggs Center with a live audience, so you can get tickets to that.
Yeah, and I was going to say you got to get those in advance, right?
You do, because we have some really incredible guests for the series. In September, we have Leah Song of Rising Appalachia.
Yeah.
In October, we have Travis Book of the infamous String Dusters.
Oh yes.
And then in November, we'll be talking about Appalachian Blues with Melissa McKinney of Mama.
I'm just looking at your list. That's going to be awesome to be able to check out. And I see it starts at 6 p.m.
It does.
On those 3 days, correct?
All three of those days.
Now, when you buy tickets, do you have to buy them for all three, or can you buy them for individual days?
You have that choice. You can buy a series package of all three, or you can buy individual show tickets.
All righty. Wow, that's going to be a neat event, and that's just a few months down the road to be able to kick off a great. This is new, right?
This is new for us. So we have our Center Stage concert series. This is actually, I believe, our 5th year of the concert series, and so we wanted to have a fall series as well. So I was able to meet Nicholas through the Earl Scruggs Music Festival, and we started having conversations about how we could work together and what sort of event series would we like to put on that we feel like would talk about the history of the music, but also be an incredible performance too. And so Roots Music Review was born from that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the great part of what you guys do over there, Mary Beth, is you have an idea that can kind of springboard into another idea. And I know you love that aspect of your job.
Yes.
You've got to.
That is the most fun, kind of dreaming up all the things that we can do and what sort of resources or cultural events or just really cool opportunities we can provide to our community and visitors.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, you stay put, because when we come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Earl Scruggs Music Festival up in Tryon. It's going to be another unbelievable festival. We'll talk about maybe some of the previous years, and we're going to look at the lineup that's coming up as well. Talk of the Town, C19 TV. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Monica, over here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. The sounds of tutoring and tech and health and fitness and arts and music. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town this week right here on C19 TV. Hope you went and got a beverage. It's been a hot summer, and we're talking about a lot of great things with Mary Beth Martin, the Executive Director of the Earl Scruggs Center. And Mary Beth, welcome again to Talk of the Town.
Thank you.
We talked about a lot of great things in our first half of the show, and now for the second half, we're going to talk about the Earl Scruggs Music Festival, Year 5. Talk about Year 5.
It's year 5. It's hard to believe that we're going into the 5th festival and that it's grown to the point that it's grown to in just, a few short years. So we're excited about celebrating our 5th anniversary of the festival.
Yeah, that is really exciting. And you told me about a great award you guys got from Year 4 last year. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Yeah, so every year the International Bluegrass Music Association awards an event, and the Event of the Year award, and they of course consider nominations of all music festivals or bluegrass and bluegrass adjacent music festivals, as well as major one-time events. And last year we got the 2025 IBMA Event of the Year award for the
Wow.
Earl Scruggs Music Festival.
Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
is awesome.
Yeah, it felt really good.
Yeah.
Just celebrating our 4th year at that time. Pretty new festival, and we were up against a lot of other long-standing events, and to receive that award was pretty rewarding.
Before we get into this year's festival, talk about how many people, Mary Beth, that it takes to make this happen.
We have a huge team.
Because you're an hour away, number one, close to 45 minutes or so away. Talk about your team.
Yeah, so we have a huge team. We have a planning team that consists of folks from our partners at Isothermal Community College, WNCW 88.7,
Sure.
us at the Earl Scruggs Center, and then just a whole host of people that work on the site at the Tryon International Equestrian Center. We also have a production company that we've hired to book the artists and really
Yeah.
manage every aspect of the production of the festival.
Yeah.
And those folks are working year round on the festival. And so it really takes an enormous village, not to even mention, you know, the 200 and something volunteers that help make the
Yeah.
event happen,
Yeah.
you know, during the weekend.
Yeah, yes.
And so it really is an amazing effort, and there are a lot of people who are very dedicated and believe in what we're doing.
Talk about the Tryon Equestrian Center. It's a phenomenal facility, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously a big part of that is you've got to have vendors. You've got to have, and you've got some good beverages. You've got some great food. But just talk about the facility itself and how important that is to make this successful.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most unique aspects of the event, other than, you know, the name and the legacy of Earl Scruggs. But the
Yeah.
facility, the venue, makes our festival really unique. And I think what sets it apart and really has given us the ability to grow so quickly in just a few short years. You know, on site, not only do you have built-in facilities where we can set up stages and, you know, have seating, you know, we're not building a festival out of a grassy field, you
Right,
know.
right.
So the infrastructure's there, which is really important
Yeah.
and very helpful for us.
Yeah.
There
It's
are-
already there, unlike some, you know, we think about, and I just think about, you know, totally different, but, you know, Woodstock's it's almost been,
Sure.
what, 50 some odd years, but you literally, that had to be built on site.
Yes, and I've been to other festivals
Yeah.
that do that too, and they're incredible experiences. This is just very different.
It is.
There are brick and mortar restaurants, so people can sit down and have a meal in an air conditioned space, which is always important over Labor Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Our VIP areas are air conditioned, so they're actually indoors. We also have covered seating, which is important. We have general admission if you want that sort of typical festival atmosphere
Sure.
too. There are, like you said, there are vendors. There are really nice spaces all throughout the entire facility. One of the things that I think makes our festival unique, or really two things, but our educational, our intention to provide educational opportunities.
Yeah, talk a little bit, because you mentioned that last year when you were on talking about the festival. Talk about what that means to our viewers.
Sure. So we have basically a series of workshops or talks where we'll bring in artists that you know, artists from the lineup, or other experts, historians, to talk about various aspects of, you know, the history of Earl's career or bluegrass music, or talk about other important things. Like last year we had the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and we talked about
Yeah.
Earl's involvement with the recording of Will the Circle Be Unbroken album,
Yeah.
which is huge.
One of the greats of all time.
Really, it was really important, and Earl was a major part of that.
Yeah.
And so we have those conversations. And then we also provide educational opportunities for young musicians through the Junior Appalachian Musicians Program. So we'll have over 100 young musicians on site, and we help provide workshops for them.
Yeah.
And it could be everything from workshops on their instruments. So you might have Jerry Douglas teaching them the basics of the dobro, which would be an unbelievable opportunity for a young
Absolutely.
person.
Yeah.
Or you know, Sierra Hull teaching them the basics of the mandolin, or it could be a stage presence coaching workshop. So everything they might need to pursue music as a young musician. So we're really proud of those elements, and then to offer also a kid zone so families can come and feel like they have things for their kids to do in a very safe space.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a look, because I think we got a graphic, and here we go. I'm looking at the dates here. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Is that right?
That's right. That's Labor Day weekend this year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, let's start with Friday. And my goodness, you got Bella Fleck right off the bat.
That's right. He's bringing back his My Bluegrass Heart Act Volume 2. And so
Yep.
there'll be a lot of bluegrass greats involved with that set. And so he's headlining Friday night, and we're really excited about that.
Talk to us a little bit about a few of the other artists that are on that Friday night, Mary Beth.
Sure. I'm excited that we're going to have Allison Brown Quintet there.
Talk a little bit about her, yeah.
She's our artist in residence this year, and she's just an incredible musician, an incredible banjo player. She's the most recent award recipient of the Louise Scruggs Memorial Forum with the
okay.
Country Music Hall of Fame, so
Yeah.
which recognizes groundbreaking women in the music industry.
Sure.
And so Allison is amazing, and so she's going to be there all 3 days, and she'll be there to play on the Flint Hill stage, which is our main stage, on Friday, but she'll also be helping kick off the opening of the Louise Scruggs stage. So that is what we're adding this year, which
Yeah.
is really neat. Our second large stage will be the Louise Scruggs
And how many
stage.
stages will be a part of the whole festival? Remind us.
There'll be 3 stages.
3 stages, okay.
3 stages, yes.
Yeah, and of course you see, for, ladies and gentlemen, that it's over in Tryon International and Mill Springs location, about 40 minutes from here, depending on where you're coming from. Let's talk about Saturday when we get into September 5th. and talk about the Greensky Bluegrass and kind of some of the folks that'll be a part of that.
Yeah, so this is the 5th year of the festival.
Right.
And so one thing we wanted to do was bring back some artists that we've loved throughout the last 5 years too. Green Sky Bluegrass will be headlining Saturday, and they've been to the festival before. And of course we have the Del McCurry Band.
Yeah, they're a classic, yeah.
Del McCurry is amazing, and my philosophy is as long as you can book Del McCurry, you should book him. And so we've been doing that the last several years.
It's just a smart move, yeah.
It's just what you do, and so we're so excited that Del's coming back. But then there's some other really interesting things. We have an artist, Jacuzzi, and they actually have a local tie here
I like that name.
to Cleveland County. Special Consensus is a bluegrass act that's been around for 50 years. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they're
Wow.
really a classic bluegrass act. There's a lot of other really exciting things on there. East Nash Grass is really, I would say an up and coming, but they're really firmly established, but they're a group
Yeah.
of young, great bluegrass musicians. So I encourage everybody to make sure you see them too on Saturday.
And then, boy, we head right into Sunday, and what there's a lot of headliners here, but Mary Beth, talk about Sunday.
So I'm really excited. This is something that's been on our festival wish list for several years, but we're excited to have the Avett Brothers headlining Sunday night.
That is remarkable that they're going to be 40 minutes down the road.
Yes, what's amazing about that is, you would not put them in a category of bluegrass, and this festival should not be considered
Yeah.
a traditional bluegrass
Right.
festival. Earl was, he played with musicians of all genres.
Yes, he did.
And his impact and his influence is far-reaching outside of the borders of bluegrass. And I think
Right.
the Avett Brothers are a perfect example of that, of people who have been innovative with their music and who have taken the traditional music of North Carolina and made it their own and made it something new. And so I am so excited that the Avett Brothers will be there. They're not only one of my personal favorites, but
Yeah.
I consider them, a favorite of North Carolina too, which is really important to
Yeah,
us.
and I have a feeling you're going to have an unbelievable crowd all weekend long, but especially on that
Yes,
Sunday.
I will say that tickets for Sunday will be running very low. So if you're interested in a Sunday only, you better get those tickets.
You better get them quick.
But I honestly encourage people to get tickets for the whole weekend, because
Yeah.
even if you may not know all the artists on the lineup, I promise you will find people that you love and you'll be really impressed by.
Give me a couple of artists on that Sunday that's along with the headliners that you
Yeah.
are excited about.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about Mountain Grass Unit. They
Okay.
are up and coming. And when I once again say up and coming, they are already there, but they are young musicians and they play some intense bluegrass music. And so we're really excited about them. Also, Lindsay Lou, she's been to the festival before.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites ever, also a North Carolina artist, is Reese Palmer. You want to talk about bringing like a soulful country to the festival. She has an amazing voice, so I encourage people to make sure you don't miss Reese Palmer. And really everything down the lineup. We'll have Darren and Brooke Aldridge doing our
Oh, yeah.
Sunday gospel set.
Oh, that'll
Like,
be unbelievable,
They've,
yeah.
they've been doing that for the past really since the beginning
Yeah.
of the festival, and it's an important tradition to
Yeah,
us.
and what you love about them is as big as they've gotten, they haven't forgot about their hometown and the importance of these great festivals and events going on around North Carolina. Of course, it's one of the big ones, obviously.
Yes, and so that we've moved that Sunday gospel set from the smaller Foggy Mountain stage to the larger
Oh, have
larger Louise Scruggs stage to really accommodate the amount of people that want to come out to that and see Darren and Brooke for that set. So we're excited. Another cool thing is we have Andy Falco and Travis Book playing Jerry Garcia. So a tribute to the Grateful Dead and to Jerry Garcia.
We might hear some good Grateful Dead's music.
I'm sure you will. And so that'll be a really fun set and something
yeah.
that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and remind us as we come back, and Holly, thank you for keeping that graphic up, because there's so many aspects. How do folks get tickets? And talk about, again, I know you mentioned it, but some people may say, well, heck, I can only get there on Friday, I can only get there on Saturday, I can only get there on Sunday, but others may say, hey, I'm going to go stay, I want to be there all weekend. Talk to us a little bit about that, Mary Beth.
Yeah, so you have options. So of course you can buy full festival packages from the general admission level all the way up to the VIP level. But you can also do individual days the same way. So you can choose, Saturday only general admission, or you can only be there on Friday. So you can, choose that
Yeah.
as well. And in addition, you can buy lodging packages too. I will say that lodging is running short on site.
I bet it is.
In fact, cabins and hotel rooms are already sold out, but there are still some camping options available.
Yeah.
So if that's something that people are interested in, I encourage them to secure that pretty soon.
And obviously the website is one of the best ways just to go
Yes.
in there and make your purchases.
Yes, you can find everything on our website, earlscruggsmusicfest.com.
And of course, again, as we wind down, because we just got a couple minutes left, and you saw the website on your screen, along with the unbelievable art, it's great food, great food options there at the Tryon Equestrian Center. Lots of beverages that you can talk about. And of course, you've got alcoholic, non-alcoholic. You've got your options on that. So you got a little bit of everything. Talk about a little bit about. Obviously, we know the food there at the Equestrian Center. Will there be like food trucks of any
Yes,
kind there?
yes,
Talk a
there
little
will
bit
be
about that.
food trucks and vendors of all different
Yeah.
kinds. You know, you can certainly, find a variety of festival food offerings there, as well as vendors that produce everything from like, personal crafted items to, more produced items too. So a lot of shopping can be done there as well.
Yes.
This year we are debuting a bourbon experience.
Okay.
So that'll be really exciting. Tickets will be available for that later this summer, as well as information about that. So there's just so many things to do. We encourage people to stop by the Earl Scruggs Center's booth.
Yeah.
We're happy to talk with people about the Scruggs Center. We also will have informational panels, sort of like a mini museum in our
Oh,
booth.
sure.
So we try to educate people about what we have going on here in Shelby too. So.
Talk about how you've seen the growth and the changes of the 5 years. I know it's got to be unbelievable. Talk about what are some of the biggest changes you've seen, along with the increase of the artists that are coming in. But talk about that from your point of view as you've seen it grow each year.
Yeah, what's really neat is to see people who come back year after year. Like
Yeah.
to see a lot of those same faces.
And you'll see them right when, yeah.
That's right. Like when, the first year when we considered it a successful festival because we pulled it off and it really was a great event, but we didn't have the crowd that we wanted. It was a
Right.
first year event.
Yeah, you didn't know,
So
right?
people I met there who've become friends and who've come back year after year after year and who know us because they've seen us working the festival every year. That's really amazing. I'll never forget, the very first year standing on the Flint Hill stage early in the day and welcoming just a few people in the arena. It's
Yeah,
early, it's
it's
hot.
early, yeah.
People are coming
But
for the later
yeah,
acts.
but you're doing because you got to have a lot of rotation
Yes.
of introductions.
Yeah, so
You got
I'm
to have
watching.
those folks on stage.
Yeah, so I'm watching our festival host, welcome people, and he's welcoming just a few people out there in the audience. But this last year, standing on the Flint Hill stage before Alison Krauss went on,
Oh, I bet it was
and there was
unbelievable.
not a spot to be had. I don't know that we could have put
Yeah.
just a few more people, in that
No
general
man- no
admission
telling
crowd.
how many thousands were out there.
It was amazing, and I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, we've done it.
Yeah.
The vision that we had has become a reality.
Yeah.
And I think J.T. Scruggs said it from the stage the best. He said, we had a dream, and here it
Yeah.
is, and it's happened.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you guys. I know you couldn't do it without your volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a big part. Get your tickets, folks. Earl Scruggs, musicfestival.org. Am I saying that right? Or earlscruggsfestival.org?
earlscruggsmusicfest.com.
.com. Thank you. We had it on the screen earlier. Get your tickets. It's going to be a great event again. Mary Beth, thanks for being here. I know a lot of folks will see you out there in September. And come to the center and check it out this summer, right?
Yes, we'd love to see everyone there. And remember, Cleveland County residents are free on Saturdays, so come see us.
Thanks for being here, Mary Beth.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, if you've got story ideas, email us info@c19.tv. You see it there for future Talk of the Towns as we head right on through the summer and hard to believe right into the fall, which will be here before we know it. Thanks for watching Talk of the Town, and we'll see you again next week.